Gervonta Davis was questioned for months by both critics and fans. His legal issues, the controversy involving Floyd Mayweather, and even the leaked videos of him smoking during training camp were cited. Many believed Tank was becoming distracted. They wondered if his desire for greatness had diminished or if he was still imprisoned. But everything changed a few days ago. The entire story was abruptly turned upside down when a new sparring video surfaced. Tank Davis stunned both fans and experts with his stunning show of strength, speed, and accuracy in this video. The graphic, unvarnished footage made viewers re-evaluate all they believed to be true about Tank's recent form. This version of Gervonta Davis is a big problem, according to trainers, fighters, and experts. Even people who thought Tank was slowing down had to change their minds. Tank's new side, one that was quicker, sharper, and more explosive than ever before, was shown by the sparring video. Tank Davis appears to be a man on a mission in this updated form. Although his authority had always existed, it now appeared more sophisticated, risky, and strategic. Lamont Roach may be in big trouble if this is what he's doing to his sparring partners. Tank's training camp sparked weeks of conjecture. Supporters wondered if he was really focused on his impending bout with Lamont Roach. They questioned whether the drama and diversions were wearing him down. Lamont Roach, after all, isn't the type of fighter who creates as much buzz as Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, or Shakur Stevenson. Some observers believed Tank might be underestimating Roach since he doesn't generate the same kind of hype as previous fighters. Tank had already generated some controversy with his prior bout with Frank Martin. Martin had dominated the first several rounds of the bout because Tank had started it slowly. Tank's knockout power continued to be a threat even when Martin was ahead on the scorecards. Tank eventually delivered a vicious left hook that instantly finished the battle, demonstrating once more that Tank's strength is a constant danger, even when he isn't using it. However, this new sparring video focused on a different strategy for the game rather than merely power. Tank appeared more concentrated, quicker, more explosive. In the video, he was seen destroying a new, highly skilled sparring opponent while delivering bombs with deadly precision. The opponent's head snapped back with each sickeningly accurate hit. In addition to throwing haymakers, Tank was creating combinations that appeared to dismantle his opponent one round after another. Tank used to have a habit of starting battles slowly, gathering information and observing his opponent's motions before attacking. Although this tactic was effective, it also allowed his opponents to become accustomed to their surroundings. Tank would frequently let shots escape before applying the gas. However, there was no waiting in this video. From the start of the sparring, Tank was attacking. His footwork was tight, his head movement was fluid, and his defense was as crisp as his offense. All of the effort in the gym was obviously paying off. Tank's devastating knockout power has been well known for years. Although his punching power is unrivaled in his weight class, his timing, discipline, and patience were more impressive in this video than his sheer strength. He was taking his time landing powerful punches. He waited for the ideal opportunity to strike, and when it arrived, he let hell loose. His attacks were unrelenting, his defense perfect, and his moves exact. Tank was obviously no longer only interested in taking out his opponent. He had total dominance in mind. It was a boxing lesson to see him maneuver around the ring, cutting off his opponent's angles, managing the pace, and pressuring his sparring partner into risky situations. Tank was in total command. He set the pace, dismantled his opponent, and produced lethal combos. However, Tank's mental approach to the fight was what really made this sparring video stand out. Fans had observed Tank take his time in past bouts, occasionally letting his opponents control the opening exchanges. However, it was clearly obvious that Tank would not allow anyone to enjoy that pleasure. He was battling not simply to prevail but to obliterate. Tank was always one step ahead of his sparring partner, who attempted to counterattack and create angles. And it was over in a flash when Tank discovered a gap. Everyone was taken aback by this most recent footage, and fighters, trainers, and analysts responded quickly. Some referred to it as the greatest Tank Davis they had ever seen. He appeared so much sharper and more relentless that some were truly taken aback. Tank was evolving into a full-fledged fighter and a real force in the ring, according to trainers who had previously thought he was too dependent on his strength. This video demonstrated that Tank was more than simply a power puncher, despite his reputation as a knockout artist. He was a combatant who was whole and well-rounded. It was clear that his style had changed. His defense was tighter, his timing was more accurate, and his combinations were sharper. Tank was now a more dangerous, patient, and intelligent fighter. And for Lamont Roach, who had been seen as a strong opponent, this was devastating news. Despite his skill, many people felt that Roach was out of his element when facing Tank Davis. Although he is disciplined and technically sound, he lacks Tank's explosive aggression and knockout power. Roach's confidence had to be shattered because Tank appeared more determined and deadly than ever. Fans and commentators realized how dangerous Tank had become as the sparring footage spread. He was determined to break Roach, not simply outscore him. He was a man on a mission, and judging from the sparring video, Lamont Roach was going to have a long, agonizing night. Tank's new trainer, Derek James, has been a major contributor to his change. Many questioned whether Tank would lose his chemistry in the gym after splitting from Calvin Ford, but the video demonstrated that Derek James has elevated Tank to a completely new level. Tank's game now has a new feeling of discipline and control thanks to James, who is well known for working with fighters like Jermall Charlo and Errol Spence Jr. He moved more fluidly, made better combinations, and had exceptional pressure applying and ring-cutting skills. More than just his natural talent has propelled Tank to the top. It has been his determination, his self-control, and his capacity to develop as a combatant. And it's obvious that Tank has solved the last puzzle with Derek James on his side. He is now more than simply a knockout artist. He is a full-fledged fighter with the ability and mentality to subdue everyone who stands in his way. Although Tank's most recent metamorphosis has fans thrilled, the true issue on everyone's mind is, who will be next? There is a sense of urgency in the air because Tank has announced that he intends to retire. There are a few names that make perfect sense, and fans want to see Tank fight the best. For instance, a battle with Shakur Stevenson would be remembered for years to come. The bout that fans have been demanding is between defensive master Stevenson and explosive knockout artist Tank Davis. A fight for pound-for-pound supremacy between two of the world's top boxers, Devin Haney, is another potential opponent. Then there is Teofimo Lopez, who has a well-known feud with Tank. Fans want to see bouts like this, and Tank Davis is more than ready to deliver in the ring. Tank is currently concentrating on Lamont Roach, but judging from this sparring video, Tank Davis has changed as a boxer. He's evolved into a more complete, dangerous, and mission-driven warrior. And this video served as a warning to anyone who had any doubts about him. Tank has more in mind than just winning. He is here to wreak havoc.